Hi, everybody. Can you see and hear me okay? Hi, Robin. Hi, Jason. Hi, Heather. Hi, Tammy. Let me know if we're good to go. Awesome. Okay, so my screen looks a bit warm and I'm not sure why. Could just be on my end. So today I'm going to be using why did I already forget the name? The Best Butterflies bundle. And that actually is a whole suite with paper and stamps and dies, but I am just using the stamps and dies today. And the cards are fairly simple. There's one of them that requires a bit of gluing, but other than that, I think they're pretty easy. And I wanted to say, Heather, I found my 10-second bow maker. So I'm not using it on camera today, but I did tie a couple bows with it for one of the cards to see if it would work. And I've only actually made one of these cards completely. The other two I was working on until the last minute. So hopefully they're going to turn out okay. So let's get started. Let's see. We'll do the one that requires quite a bit of gluing first. So let me get all these out, and I haven't exactly decided which embellishments I'm using yet. I just pulled some aside. So I know, Heather, I was so excited. I was looking for it up until the last minute before I had to go live. And I had to watch a quick video on the website to even figure out how to use it because I didn't know how to use it yet. Okay, so we have our white A2 card base, of course. Yes, Tom will be working today, Tammy. And then we have our white panel here, and this is 3¼ by 5. So it is a 1/2 inch smaller all around. And then we have 2 butterflies cut from vellum. And originally, I'll show you the first card that I did so you can see it. Originally, I'm not sure if this is going to pick up on screen, but originally I cut it from the vellum we have that has the white script and the black map looking print. And they just kind of felt like they were getting lost. So I cut some vellum or cut some pieces just from our regular vellum. So I'm hoping that those don't get as lost. And then we have our sentiment. And this sentiment is from Sending Smiles. And this little strip is 2 7/16 by 3/8. And I'm sure all of you watching know about the new embossing kit that we're getting that comes with a tray, a brush, tweezers, and the little embossing buddy, which I'm very excited about because I have trays and tweezers and brushes and an embossing buddy, but none of them are by Stampin' Up. So I'm glad that they came out with that. And then we have all of our little strips of paper, which we are going to adhere onto this panel, and we will trim them off. So these are all, I don't have, well, I have my grid paper, but I threw it on the floor. I think these are all 5½ long. So let me find my glue here and my silicone mat so I don't get glue everywhere. I apologize for my hands. Like I said, I was creating up until the last minute. There's ink everywhere. I've got Stampin' blends on my nail. I'm pretty sure you guys can all relate to that. So, okay, so for our panel here, I did cut the strips a little bit different than I did on this card. These are quite a bit thicker. So, and I will go, all the measurements will be listed regardless, but I will go over the sizes as I put them down. So the first one I want to start with is, let me see, this is Gorgeous Grape. And what I'm trying to avoid is one of the strips ending up in a weird spot on the corner. So I kind of want it just to lay into the corner like that. I hope I'm making sense. I didn't like the way that it turned out on the original card, the way that it cut off. So I'm going to start by putting that one down. And this is Highland Heather. And this is 5.5 inches long. They all will be, but this one is 1/4 inch wide. So we'll start with him. Sure, I'm going to get glue everywhere but the silicone mat. So I just kind of want to line the edge of this with the corner of the panel. And of course, I'm using Tom because it allows me wiggle room. Oh, you're so sweet, Robin. It allows for wiggle room as well because I don't need to get anything permanently stuck down. So this, I don't know if I said this already, sorry. This is Gorgeous Grape. And this is 3/16 wide. And then we are going to put on our fresh freesia piece. And this one is 7/16 wide. And they don't obviously have to be the exact same measurements that I used. This was just the size of the strips that I liked. And so I wanted to be able to tell you what the dimensions were if you wanted to cut them exactly the same. Then next we have our little strip of Daffodil Delight. I don't think he's cut straight. Cutting small strips is difficult, at least for me. I think they're straight and then they're not straight. So Daffodil Delight is just 3/16, and we are all going to pretend that it's 3/16 wide all the way across, even though it's obviously not. Oh boy. Okay. And then our last piece is So Saffron, and this is 1/2 inch wide. And it doesn't really matter how well spaced they are. I mean, they don't have to be evenly spaced. I'm just going to blot off some of this glue. I never use my silicone craft sheet. I had to dig it out. Okay, so now we're just going to trim. Hopefully I'm still on the screen. Okay, we're going to trim off the overhang. And you can do this with a trimmer as well. That's how I did it on my first card because I'm not the most talented with cutting straight with scissors. I am always amazed by people who can cut straight with scissors and people that can write straight on a chalkboard. No matter how many times I've tried to write straight on a chalkboard, it always ended up going downhill or uphill. I know that's totally random, but I need lines. Okay, so there we have our card front. Thank you, Jason. Oh, yeah. Hey, Diane, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. So yes, Jason, I love the color combo too. I love color, and I usually try to go just for a pop of color, but I don't know, summer's coming and feeling kind of sassy. So, all right, see what I mean? Let's just hope I don't trim off the side of the panel. Okay, so there's our panel. And then from here, it's pretty simple. You just need to adhere your butterflies. I am going to go ahead and glue down the panel first. And I'm going to try to use my tip, or Heather's tip, my tip from Heather, where she kind of holds something, holds the side and kind of lines it up and then sticks it down. So yeah, I can tell I cut those strips wonky. Okay, so there we have that. Now with your butterflies, since they're vellum, pretty much anything is going to show. So I am just going to use my, do I want to use seal or Tombow? We'll try seal. Hopefully it doesn't get everywhere. I do have a tape runner that works well for vellum, but it's contraband, and so, you know, I'm not going to use that. All right, so let's get some adhesive on this guy. And I guess if any of it kind of sticks out, we'll just push it back. And then we're going to kind of put him at an angle like this. And then we have our smaller butterfly. If you do not have this die set, it is amazing. I haven't used the actual butterfly stamps. I've used the sentiments, and I'm using the sentiments today. But at first, when I saw this in the catalog, I was like, yeah, no, that is not me. And then I was like, okay, let's branch out. Let's look at something that's not me and grab it and see what we can do with it. I absolutely love this die set. One of the cards that we're going to do uses a watercolor background. I was working on watercolor backgrounds yesterday. And so I had a bunch of random pieces, and I was actually going to show how I did the watercolor technique, but it was kind of messy. So I'll explain it when we get to that card. But I just die cut a bunch of these butterflies from the backgrounds. Hopefully I'm close enough. Oh, I love it, Tammy. So I did one watercolor paper that was, what was it? Daffodil Delight, Crushed Curry, Mango Melody, and Pumpkin Pie, I think. And they all just kind of blend together. And then I did some purples and stuff. So I just thought those were really fun. Okay, so we have our two butterflies. Hopefully you can see that. I know vellum's kind of hard to see on screen. Super duper simple once you get the stripes down. And then this little sentiment, which is from Sending Smiles. And this strip of paper is 2 7/16 by 3/8. And it is heat embossed with our white embossing powder. And I really love the Sending Smiles. I'm sure I've mentioned this a gazillion times, but I really love the Sending Smiles stamp set because of all the thin sentiments. So we are just going to grab some mini dimensionals and put those on the back of the black strip. And I know last week I had to reschedule. I guess I canceled my live. It wasn't really rescheduled because here I am a week later. And some of you might know that I'm getting ready to move. I'm doing a local move, and then in the fall, an out-of-state move. At least that's the plan. So even local moves can kind of be overwhelming. And so, you know, we've lived in this house for 7 years, and 2 kids have pretty much, well, I guess you wouldn't say grown up. I think my son was in 6th grade and my daughter was in 8th grade when we moved here. But he's 18 now and she's 20. So we have a lot of stuff here, and things just seem to, you know, come up out of the blue. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go to pre-recorded videos for the rest of June or try to keep doing my lives. Anyway, I'm not sure why I went there, but here is our sentiment. I know, Robin, I hate moving too. We moved, gosh, I mean, and after we moved here, I said, I am never moving again. And I mean, never. We had moved 11 times in 14 years or something ridiculous like that. And I'm like, I'm never doing it again. This is it. Well, it really doesn't make sense for us to have this house anymore, plus another house that's about 30 minutes away. And being that my daughter doesn't live here anymore, my son's going to go to college in the fall, and he may or may not live with us, but we just don't need a house this size. And honestly, it is way too much for me to keep up on. So we'll be moving to a place about 30 minutes away, and then moving to Arizona in October is the plan, which I am not thrilled with, but it's where my husband wants to retire. So, and he'd already bought a house there last fall. So that's what we're doing. All right, enough of my personal crisis. So there is the sentiment. Just super simple pop of black, and I'm not adding anything else to it. Except for maybe if I could get these edges straight, I should have used my trimmer. Lesson learned. But yeah, that's it. I'm not going to add anything else. On the original one, I did add some splatters of Wink of Stella. They don't, you know, Wink of Stella is kind of sheer, so it doesn't show up. Unless you guys think I should add some embellishments. What do you think? Should we take a vote? Thanks, Robin. Should we take a vote and see if I should add embellishments? I'll show you the ones that I pulled, and these were maybe for the other cards, and I have lots of embellishments. So if you have something you think would look good, let me know and I'll see if I have it. So I pulled these opal rounds. I don't think the pearls would show up very well on the white, and these faux sea glass shapes might not work very good. And then I pulled these solid faceted gems. But I have a gazillion other embellishments. I just thought that with all the the stripes with the colors, it kind of took care of itself. Black dots, Jason. Okay. Black dots. Let's see. I've got these. I think I will use those because these black dots, no, I mean, they're okay. I like that these ones are flatter. Well, we'll take them both out just to see. What if you put the pearls on the antenna ends? We could do that. And we have teeny tiny pearls. Okay, well, let's give it a go, because we'll try some black dots. We'll try some antennas. Okay, how about we do this? How about we pick up Tom, who's going to leak all over my workspace. How about we do one on one card and one on the other? Okay, so let's do, actually, where's my take a pic tool? Here we go. What have you, okay. Get my sticky stuff in place. All right, so here we'll do, you know, another thing you could do too on these, because I mean, you can cut out the butterfly body, but this is the smallest butterfly body, and it's pretty thick. But I mean, it still looks okay. You'd have to use the bigger one on this guy. But another thing I guess you could do too, if you wanted, is you can even put gems down like the body of the butterfly. That would be pretty too. Let's see, his antennae are the same size. So, well, hopefully you meant, I don't know. Robin, did you want me to put bigger ones on here? Should we put bigger ones on this here? We'll put bigger ones on this guy. Let's hope we don't rip his antenna. Okay, we'll put bigger ones on him. Okay, so that's not the lid for that. So here is our butterfly with pearls and antennas, or pearls on his antennas. That's a super cute idea, Robin. I really love it. And I think that you could do this on so many different types of cards, or like the vibe of the card. Super cute. Thanks for the idea. I also painted these with Wink of Stella, but you know, you can't see it on camera. Okay, so there's our little pearl antenna guy. Let's see, I've got stuff. I don't know, there's like ribbon stuck to this packaging. I don't know what's going on. All right, and black dots. Okay, Jason, do you want me to use the classic matte dots? I have another pack back here, so I'm not just limited to those little ones, or the matte black dots. You have a preference? I have backups of both. Or there's even the black ones in here. I don't know. What do you think, Jason? Should I do black that has some sparkle, or should I just do matte ones? Your call. And while we're waiting, I want everybody to tell me what their favorite sweet is, or favorite item. It could be just a die set out of the new holiday catalog. And you can do it for every season, or tell me just one, or what you're loving. Maybe the flatter one. Okay, well, which one's the flatter one? Okay, I guess we're going with these. I'm assuming you mean these. I did not order. I did not order during, it's not called opening day, catalog launch. Oh, it is? It's Marcee? Say what? Oh my. Well, thanks for telling. What? Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, okay. Now I know. I did not place on launch day. In fact, I only placed a very small order, which will be here Friday, because I am trying to behave myself. So far, so good. It's what, the 8th of June? So I made it a little bit. And then I have an order already in that, you know, I'm just kind of like putting stuff in or taking stuff out that I will place the 1st of July. Okay, so black dots. I'm getting sidetracked a lot here today. So, all right, well, that white one is gonzo. So let's see here. Yes, I saw your gnomes card, Robin, and it was so cute. Oh, hey, Tracy. I wonder why you couldn't comment. Oh, well, I'm glad you were finally able to get on. Yeah, I loved your gnomes card, Robin. It was so cute. And I really like the boughs of holly. I like the stamps and dies on that one. I'm still kind of undecided on the paper. I thought when I got my catalog in the mail, which was super quick after pre-order. It was, what, let's see, pre-order was the 3rd. I had it like 4 days after that. So I thought that maybe I would have more solid opinion on some of the things once I saw the catalog, but I'm still kind of going back and forth. And the worst thing about the mini is that I overbuy every year, and then I have boxes of stuff I have to sell. And it's just, and I don't want to sell it because I love Christmas stuff. It's just, last pre-order I went crazy, and I'm like, I still have a ton of stuff to use from the new annual. What am I going to do with all this Christmas stuff? Anyway, it does. I agree, Robin. When I see people create with certain things, that definitely gives me a better idea. I don't know. I say I didn't put black dots on this to begin with. Oh no, I don't know where to put the black dots. Let's see. Jason likes bows. Tammy likes candy canes. Yeah, the candy canes are cool. Oh, user error. Haha. That's okay, Tracy. Today I was going to see if I wanted to use the butterfly kisses paper on any of my projects. I literally looked for the pack of paper, which I'd already taken out, and looked through the sheets to decide if I wanted to use it. I looked for it for a half an hour after I put it down, and it was right in front of me by my keyboard, my computer keyboard. Yeah, 30 minutes looking for that paper. Tammy likes Santa Express. That's cute too. Did you say that you liked something, Tracy? I thought I saw something. Oh God, seriously, I would be dead. User error. Gnomes, vows of holly. Okay, I just didn't want to miss anybody. I know it's crazy, Robin. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've looked for my phone while I'm on my phone. It's just, yeah, it's something special. I can tell you that. Okay, Jason, I'm on the struggle bus. Okay, we're just gonna put one here. You guys are like, nobody cares. Get on with it. Okay, there we go. Card one finished 300 years later. Heather says she's not a fan of Christmas, so I have a tough time finding things I like so that I can demo them. I rely a lot on the things that other people create. Yeah, Heather, um, I like the look of lit up Christmas trees, or when you go somewhere and it's decorated, but for a holiday, I'm not much of a Christmas person. I could take it or leave it. So I feel for you. And I don't even send Christmas cards. So, I've got all this Christmas stuff, and I'm like, well, here's something I made, and then it goes away. Hey Jim, thanks for popping on. I appreciate it. Thank you, Heather. I think it's pretty cute. Simple, as usual. Okay, so let's set some of this stuff aside. Now, the next one, well, maybe as soon, oh, here we go. I piled my embellishments on top of my little project bags. I was scared there for a second. Okay, so this one was one of the ones I did not finish or don't have like a prototype of. Oh my gosh, Halloween is my favorite holiday, Tracy. I love Halloween. I don't know why, but I love it. And I think part of it has to do with it's in the fall. And fall is my favorite season here. For those of you who don't know, I live in Oregon, just outside of Portland, and I love fall, which is another reason why I am not looking forward to moving to Arizona. But oh, I love Halloween. I'm also a huge horror movie fan though, so that might account for some of it. Plus, candy. Yeah, I think they did a great job this year, Robin, with the holiday catalog. And I do like a lot of the embellishments. I got the Halloween bundle, that's the little silhouette of the kids trick-or-treating. I really like that one. And they did some really good things with like the dies that go with the stamp sets, like background dies, and I just love it. Okay. So this one, this is a standard A2 base. I did not measure these. I can do that in a second. So these are some of this is part of a watercolor background I did. And this is I used 5 colors, I believe. I used Balmy Blue, Tahitian Tide, Pacific Point, Night of Navy, and Starry Sky, unless I said that already. And I was going to do this on screen or show you how I did it and then just, magic of TV, ta-da, because obviously it takes a while to dry. So I have a glass mat and it's not Stampin' Up, so I'm not using it. But what you can use, because originally, I'll show you this. I haven't posted this yet, but what I originally did was a slimline card. And I wanted white space. I didn't want the whole thing to be covered with ink. So what I did was I found a stamp. It would have been perfect if I had a stamp that was a small rectangle, but I didn't. So I found a stamp in my stamp collection, and I believe it was from the Oceanfront set. And I used it backwards. So instead of having the normal area that we stamp, you could even do it with this one. I used the back part just because it distributes more ink. It's more of a solid image. So I took the stamp and I did my ink colors, and I just went from light to dark because that way you're not going to contaminate the colors. And I just stamped them on my glass mat, sprayed them with water, laid the paper down on it, and that was it. If you don't have a glass mat, one of the things you can use is your clear acrylic plate for your cutting machine. I have a couple backups because we know they get all kinds of worn out. And you can just do the same process on there, spray it with water, lay your paper on. Now, a traditional slimline card is 8.5 inches long. So our plate isn't going to be long enough for that, but you can always move your paper around on the water. But the acrylic plate is great for that. It's also great for embossing paste if you want to emboss with a stencil or just wipe embossing paste, because it comes off really easy if you get to it quick enough. So anyway, that's what I did with this one. And then I cut these pieces. Let me see if I have my easy read ruler. So this is 4 inches by about 2.5, unless you want to get super specific. And then this one is 4 by, technically 1 and 15/16, but we'll just say 2. And what we are going to do is we're going to have our panels like this. And how I got the size of the gap that I wanted was I picked the stamp I wanted. And this says, "So glad you exist." This is from the Best Butterflies. And what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp it right between these panels. So I'm going to adhere, I don't know, should I adhere the panels first? Or should I guesstimate where I'm stamping? I could tape the panels down. Let's stamp it upside down, Marcee. I'm hoping that I don't stamp this crooked. I lost my pencil. See what I mean? I haven't made one of these yet, so just kind of winging it here. Maybe I will just I'll tape them down. Keep them straight. I know, Jason, me too. I love my white space. I love seeing people's cards where they have got, you know what? I needed my foam mat. Wow. Hot dog. Where people do all kinds of bright and colorful cards, but when I do it, it looks like somebody threw up all over it. So, let's see. Okay. This could turn out good or it could be scary, and we might have to start with a different white piece. Yes, repositional tape. I love you, repositional tape. Okay, sorry if my head gets in the way. This is kind of scary. It's hard to sometimes stamp. Really? All right, folks, time to cut another card base. Wow. All right. Fortunately, it's just a card base I have to cut, and I made myself this little cutting table. It's just like a, kind of like a folding table thing. And I just put white paper on it and my trimmer so that I don't have it take up space on my table. All right. Where did I get my repositional tape? Tracy, I got it off of Amazon. It is by Scotch. I'll show it to you because I have it right here. It is this Scotch removable tape. It is the best stuff ever. I love this. And I'm especially glad I have it now because of the magnetic plate issue. But I love this stuff. I will send you a link for it after my live. It is wonderful. It doesn't tear your paper. It retains its stickiness. It's great. I wonder, I don't have much luck doing the Stamparatus double stamp. Somehow I always shift my paper, but maybe we'll go that route and see if I have better luck, which means I'm going to need to clean my stamp. Sorry, folks. Real life stamping going on here. Okay. And I brought this out. Maybe I brought it out for this card. I'm not 100% sure, but I brought this out and I couldn't find my grid paper, so I'm sure it's somewhere around here. It sure does. And you know what? That is just part of creating. Mistakes happen, and as Patty always says, it's just paper. So, all right, now let's see here. Sorry, this is crooked, or I'm going a weird direction. I will be honest with you. I really struggle with the Stamparatus. This is my second one. My first one, there was something wrong with it. I tried it every which way and it just would not stamp correctly. It was like the whole thing was not level. And so I bought a new one and I still kind of struggle with it. And I think that's because it is not a level stamping well, the surface is level, but the plates don't lay flat because of the hinges. So I kind of struggle with that. I know it's goofy, but all right, I think we're gonna have to call that good. All right. Shoot up a quick prayer or some mojo or some vibes or whatever you got that we don't get the half stamp again. Okay, let me get out my little press. I can't, Jason, what did you call these? You asked me if I had one. I'd never heard the name of it. Dun da da da. Success. Let's hope the rest of the card is a success. Okay. So I'll leave this open so I don't forget to clean my stamp. Yes, I found out about the repositional tape from Jason. And of course, there's goop on the back of my card now. I know that some people really like Post-it tape, but Post-it tape is, in my opinion, it's kind of expensive. So I really like the repositional tape. So this is what we are going to end up with here. So let's glue these down. I was trying to find my seal because watercolor paper is pretty thick. And you know what? I'll grab tearing tape because somehow I have, Lord have mercy, I'm a mess today. I misplaced my tearing tape, or my seal, which is probably right in front of me. Probably another snake. I do, on another background that I did with this same color palette, some of you might remember this from like several years ago, maybe. We had these shimmer paints. There was a champagne one, which is pretty much identical to the shimmer in the Wink of Stella. And we had copper and we had gold. Boy, do I wish we still had those. I love them. And I found mine recently, but last night when I was doing these backgrounds, I found one of our spritzers that had the champagne one in it, and I sprayed it on the watercolor background, and holy sparkle, it was so pretty. I like the sparkly things. I probably won't get the washi tape in the mini just because I would never go through all of it, but also it's only Halloween colors really. So, but I do like that. That's kind of can be a quick embellishment sometimes. Okay, so let's get also, I have not shared these online. Robin, I think we forgot about our gold, oh God, now my stamp looks crooked. Our gold leaf challenge that we were supposed to do. I actually did use some gold leaf, but I didn't post it in case you guys haven't tried it. Tear and tape or any double-sided adhesive works great with gold leaf. You just lay it down, put the gold leaf on it, rub it around, burnish it with your bone folder, and ta-da. You can make stripes. And you can also use our heat and stick powder with it if you want to. A little more, fussy, more steps, but I love tear and tape. This stuff is amazing. Okay, so try to get this lined up as best as I can. Okay. All right, so there's our card front, and then we have these two little butterfly wings. And what's funny is I was playing with these and I was like, well, this is kind of weird. You can't really put a body on these butterflies. I mean, it doesn't look very good. I was like, oh, here's my Stampin' seal. And then I realized, yeah, well, duh, because this is only one part of their body. That's what the other parts are for if you want to make them like this. So, yeah. But I'm not going to make them full butterflies today. They're just going to look like this. So, I got this far. And then I was like, okay, adding another one. There wasn't one that was a really, like, a good fit for size. So, I'm going to put these down, but then we have to figure out what else we're going to put on the card to finish it if you think it needs something. These would be really great to use with adhesive sheets, but obviously I didn't do that, so I'm just using glue. Oh. And these are cut from a watercolor background I did too. I guess I don't need to. But how dorky. Like, I wasn't even thinking this is only half of the body. Wow. And I mean, I've seen them used. I've seen the graphic that Stampin' Up! Put out that shows us all the different combinations with the stamp set. Boy. Your Chucky tool. I have never heard that. Oh, is that why, Jason? Because Gina K's friend designed it, and you call it that too? Robin? That I had never heard that. I was like, Jason asked me, do you have a Chucky tool? And I'm like, what in the world is a Chucky tool? Because I know it as a, I'm not gonna remember what it's called. There was a stamp company that used one in their videos with a different stamping platform, and I was like, I need one of those because it was hard. My hands get tired really fast, and I do have a dry eraser as well. But I'd mentioned in one of my previous videos that the lady who made my Tombow holder, she made me this too. So, okay, so we have this. So, well, we're not going to leave it. We have to put something on it. So what do we want to put on it? Do we want to put pearls? I also have, what makes dragonflies, Robin? The body of the butterfly? So we could do pearls. We could do iridescent rhinestones. Oh, it does? Well, you've got a creative eye. I didn't even notice that. I did see somebody use these, not these specific ones, more like this shape as bows on top of presents. So I thought was pretty creative. The in color matte decorative dots. I pulled the regular rhinestones, and I also pulled these with the mossy meadow. What's up at the top here? I don't know. I haven't used these yet. Oh, balmy blue maybe? What do you think I should put on it? Or we still have these matte dots too. And sea glass. And opal rounds. You like all the choices. Well, thank you. That is so helpful. Anybody have a vote? Or I can just twirl my finger around with my eyes closed and pick one. I don't know if iridescent. Okay, thanks, Robin. We will do iridescent. These are some of my favorites. I love these. I love how these pick up the color in your projects. All right. I could paint some wink on the butterflies, I suppose. I could have done that. This is why I wish we had that shimmer paint still, because I could splatter it. And I like that. And it shows up better than Wink Estella because it's not diluted. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? Maybe he needs to go down here. Oh, sorry about that squeak. Oh, I think this was a good choice, Robin. It really picks up the blues and pinks. Well, Jason and Tammy, you guys too late. Maybe we'll do those on the next card, because the next card I didn't finish either. I also love these embellishments because they have 3 different sizes. And yeah, I know I'm probably kind of odd that way, but I think this guy needs to move. I hate doing this on camera. I always feel like I take forever, because I do take forever trying to get it perfect, and nobody cares, do they? Nobody cares where they're at. Sorry if you can hear my son. I don't know what the heck he is laughing at, but he has got a crazy laugh. Maybe I need, like, should we go to commercial break? I don't know. All right, we're just doing that. I could go with 5, but people have lives to live. So there's that one, just super simple, little half wings or wonky hearts. Thanks, Robin. I feel like it still needs something, but maybe I'll have to figure it out later before I put it on my blog. Okay, now for the last one, the other one that I did not finish or have a original of. So bear with me. All right, so this one has a regular A2 card base, and then I took the Stylish Shapes and I made a frame just by doubling the dies. Were we through, or did you just not look fast enough? Yeah, I think it was you, Jason. I think it was you guys were slow. Try adding another half lower a bit for double wings. Okay, I will try that this afternoon or tomorrow before I post it. I will try that, because you're probably right. I don't know what I was thinking. Apparently I wasn't thinking. Okay, so this is Fresh Freesia. I just took the Stylish Shapes dies and laid one inside the other to make the frame. And then we have our half butterfly, who will have a body but no lower wings. We're going abstract today. I suppose I could put lower wings on him. I didn't plan for it. I mean, I cut enough of them. Let's see. We'll bring some in and see what we think. Okay, so that's too orange. We have that one. I think that's too big. I wasn't planning for, oh, Atlanta. I wasn't planning for the scale of a big butterfly, and nor did I cut the body for a bigger butterfly. Let's see what other little, do I have any smaller pieces? I have this one. It's got some pink on him, pink and purple. Okay, let's do this. Let's begin the card and then decide. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stamp I showed earlier, which is from I know I set this aside so I could tell you. It is from Color and Contour, this stamp set right here. I tried to use the dots from the Best Butterfly set. These dots, and they just felt a little too big. They might not if I actually made a full butterfly. So first we're going to stamp the splatter in Starry Sky. Then we are going to adhere down our little frame. I don't know what I'm going to do when Fresh Freesia retires next year. I love it. I loved when we had Purple Posy, the color that never was because there was issues with the ink. My ink didn't have an issue. I still have the paper. I love a lavender. I hope we get another lavender. Lost my tweeze. Oh, here they are. Losing everything today. Okay, so frame's going to go down like this. Or not. I have to hold it down. Okay, stay there. All right, so here was the original plan. The original plan was this and this. This is where this was going to go, and then we have a sentiment. I know some of you are probably like, oh my gosh, that's so much white space, but that's how I roll. So this was the plan. And then I have two bows, and then I have this little sentiment I'm trying to slide under a glued down square. Go, Marcee. And then I have this little sentiment. So if we do this, it's too big. And that just looks strange because it's so small. So I'm sorry. We're just going to have to do this half butterfly. Okay. So, we'll put some Tombow here. You know, it's art, right? It doesn't have to be realistic. Plus, Robin said it could be a dragonfly. So, All right. I'm going to put those down. Tried to use several of the in colors. I really, really like the in colors we have this year. I wasn't so sure, and I'm still not convinced we needed Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. I mean, they are extremely similar, but I do like them both. However, I am having a heck of a time with my Tahitian Tide ink pad. Have any of you ever had, I don't know if I kept the scraps. When I stamp, I stamped a bunch of different colors in this sentiment, and one of them was Tahitian Tide. And it just looked super blotchy. It was like blotchy and bleeding on the paper. I have no idea what's wrong with the ink pad. And it's not that my stamp, has anything on it that would keep it from stamping well, because my the other ink stamp fine. I was going to see if I had a piece I could show you, but I don't. Lord only knows, with scraps of paper where I put those. But yeah, if you've ever had that issue with your ink pads and know what might be causing it, or if the ink pad is bunk, or you know how to fix it, let me know. Woohoo, Jason! What'd you get for dinner? You always get something good. It's quite unfair. Me, I am probably gonna eat a frozen burrito. All right, I don't know if I know I'm gonna mess this up. I kind of feel like I should just stamp this directly on the card. What's up with this? But see what I mean about me and scissors? Holy cannoli. All right, quit before you're ahead. But I think we'll just stick with it the way that I had it planned to save time and anguish for all of you. Okay, so now we have 2 bows, and then I need to figure out what embellishments. So obviously these are not trimmed. I'm trying to see if I can get, so I picked Sentiment Across Butter. Well, he's kind of short. See? But I like your idea. I wonder, I could probably do a smaller strip. Okay, I'm not going to adhere this down. We're just going to pretend. And then I'm going to go back and rework that later on at some point. Okay. So we have 2 different bows. We have Parakeet Party, which I was just going to twine. A love of Pete. Okay, so I have Parakeet Party, and then I also did one in Tahitian Tide. Is there any preference? Chinese. Oh, I love Chinese food. You're right, Tracy. It is just paper. Lord have mercy if I butchered a lot of paper. So, any thoughts on which twine? Green or blue? Tahitian. Okay. So I am going to stick this down with a glue dot. No, is there anything great to stick these down with? These little twine bows when you're not hiding them under something? Like, I don't feel like, Tombow is just kind of wonky. I just try to roll up a glue dot here and we'll stick. Ooh, that worked well. Not. Wow. Artist at work. Okay. I even did a double bow to be extra fancy. Okay. I like my strings kind of long. I wanted to do a really pretty fancy bow, but we probably would have been here all day. Okay. Does that look good or does it need? I know. Okay. All right. So do we, this won't adhere permanently, but I just want to stick it down. Do we add embellishments? Since when do you listen to your wife? Damn, told me to. You guys are so funny. Oh Lord. Okay, so what should we do for embellishments on here? Do we do embellishments on here? We've got our opal rounds. We already used our iridescent rhinestones, and we already used our pearls on one card. Do we use? Yeah, I don't know about sea glass. We've got the in color matte decorative dots. We've got these, although apparently I don't know what colors these are, so these could not match anything in here. Rhinestones. I've got these that I always use. Yellow opal rounds. Okay. You got it. I hope I have another pack of these somewhere. I didn't realize. I guess there's not that many in a pack, so. Okay, here we go. Are these yellow? Or are they supposed to be pale papaya? I mean, they look yellow. I was just curious. Fortunately, I can tell the green is green and not black. Brother. Okay. Now I really want Chinese food for dinner. Oh, rude. But what I really want is a Coke from McDonald's. I want that too. Do these have 3 sizes? No, just 2. Okay. All right, we're just doing this. Okay, there we go with our temporary sentiment that has been bent to heck. So that's card number 3. I kind of feel like maybe I should cut down the panel and adhere it to a card base, or maybe if I remove this and put the sentiment across, maybe I'll feel different. Anyway, not that anybody wants to be up inside my head about my card usings. Okay, so let's take a look at the 3 cards we made. Thank you for your help in deciding everything. Welcome to my disaster. Okay, so the first one we made was with the stripes and the decorative matte dots. And then the second one we made was with the watercolor background and the partial butterflies. And then the third one. So I hope you guys like these and you enjoyed. Oh, Jim and Tammy. What are you guys doing? Oh, Kung Pao. Yeah, Jim. I haven't had Kung Pao in a while. Thank you, everybody. I really, really appreciate you being here and supporting me today. I do have a lot of fun doing this, and it really helps me to just sit down and create, because otherwise I call it, what do I call it? Paralysis by analysis. I will just constantly overthink something. So thanks for your help today and for being here. I hope you like the cards. I hope they inspired you. If you do decide to create anything that inspired you, I would love for you to share it. And I don't know what I am going to be using next week. Last week I was supposed to use the fish, and I did create a couple cards with the fish, but that bundle really traumatized me. That was a really hard set for me to create with, so yeah, I won't be doing a video with those. Even if you have any ideas of what you want me to use, let me know that too, and I'd be happy to make something with it. So until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you around the web. And Tracy, I will send you the link to the repositionable tape. Thank you, everybody. I'm really glad that you liked the cards. I will see you guys soon. Bye.